Yeah, I've been happy with the start of this season. I really like this team. There's a lot of potential there. I think our guys are wrestling with a lot of energy, and they're scrapping hard, and they're competing hard. And that's what I'm looking for this early in the season. Obviously, we've had a number of mistakes, but it's not from lack of effort. And when you have those kind of mistakes from, competing hard, then you have a lot of things you can work on in the practice room. And so I expect this team to be much different team the second semester than they are currently. But so far, I've been happy with kind of what we've put out on the map.
Two tournaments so far. You started it off at the Southeast Open in Virginia with almost your full roster, and then competed in Pennsylvania with a little bit of a different format. Just that tournament kind of format. What did you see out of the group those two events?
Well, in both events, we had a lot of athletes competing, and so with that, your thoughts are swirling because you've got a lot of different emotions. You're riding an emotional roller coaster all day, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. But I think it's given our guys a lot of live reps, and in the preseason, you kind of have an idea where you think your team is, but when you see your guys compete in that many matches in the first two weekends, you get a real good idea of kind of where you are and what your weaknesses are and what you've got to improve on by the end of the season. So I like those formats. It's a lot to digest because we have a ton of guys wrestling, a lot of matches. But I do think it's given me a good grasp of kind of where we are and what our focus needs to be in our training, in our preparation for us to be the kind of team that we want to be second semester.
You got your dual schedule started last weekend, or nip and tuck with a tough Navy team before they pulled it out, and then rallied to beat Hofstra. Just, I don't know if you want to go duel by duel, but just your thoughts on how the team performed in that setting.
Well, I'll start with the Navy match. Navy's got a really good team. I think they will be ranked top 25 in the national polls here in the upcoming weeks. I think they've got a really scrappy team, and they've got, I think, 5 or 6 nationally ranked guys. And I thought our guys held their own with them the first 5 or 6 matches, but we didn't close well. We gave up 3 pins in the last 4 matches, which ultimately decided the dual meet. And, that's just a lesson that we've got to learn as a dual meet team. You can't give up bonus points. You have to win the bonus points battle if you're going to beat good teams like that. But, it was a good test for us early. I think Navy's a really good team. And then the Hofstra match, I thought we came out flat. We kind of started really slow, and we lost 2 overtime matches, which really made the score close. And then we also gave up a really fast pin, which also really kind of made the score a little closer than I would have liked. But I thought our guys finished well in that match. We didn't start well. We were kind of flat, but they finished well in that match. And like I mentioned, this team, as inexperienced as it is, and as many young guys as we have in the lineup, I'm prepared to know we're going to have some momentum swings, and we're going to have some days where we don't look like we're a very seasoned team, and hopefully we'll get all that stuff figured out this first semester, and you'll see a much different team after Christmas.
You've got 3 guys getting some national ranking recognition between true freshman Musa Tamaradze because of his strong showing at the Southeast Open, Caden Keyser at 149, and Tomas Brooker at 184 who's back. If you want to just comment on those guys, especially Tomas after missing almost all of last year and be back on the map.
Yeah, it's great to have Tomas back. I mean, he's our leader, just not only he's not even that vocal, but he's a silent leader. I mean, there's nobody that works harder than Tomas. And I think our guys feed off of that energy and that work. And so it's nice to have him back in the lineup. He's went through a tremendous off season, trying to recover from the injury and get his body back in shape, and then now he's just trying to get the rust out. He hadn't competed for over 12 months, which, as many know, I mean that's a hard challenge to come back after being off the mat for a year and get back into competition mode. But it's great to have him in the lineup. Caden Keyser has had 2 solid weekends. He's had a couple of nationally ranked wins both weekends, and I think he's starting to kind of show some consistency, and I fully expect he's going to continue getting better and better as his confidence grows. And then Musa Tamarzi, he had a really good showing at Southeast Open and had a nationally ranked win. Unfortunately, he was sick last weekend and didn't get to travel with us to Pennsylvania, so we didn't have him. We didn't have access to him for any of the matches last weekend. But he's recovered from the flu, and we're excited to have him back, as a potential option for us this weekend.
Just looking at this weekend, you go up to Morgantown, 3 different dual competitions on Sunday. It's a long trip. Just what are some of the logistics that you'll keep an eye on to make sure you guys are fresh? And it's a lot of, whether it's lineup combinations or whatever, it's a long day of wrestling on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get 3 duels in on Sunday, and we're going to take a lot of guys. We'll probably take 18, 19 guys up there, and you'll probably see some different looks in our lineups. We'll probably rotate some guys over the course of the 3 matches. We might not have the same guy in the lineup every match, but I think that's what's important. You got to take multiple guys because in a day like that where you're getting multiple duels, you want to make sure that your guys are getting the competition they need, but also maybe keeping some guys fresh and getting some other opportunities for some of our guys that could still potentially be in our lineup this year.
Starting a lot of this on the road as we reach the later part of November, you'll start wrestling in Varsity Gym with, the Open, and then you've got NC State coming right after the last home football game. Just maybe comment on the schedule and just how you went about making it and what you think of it.
Well, it's a very different schedule this year. I think if you look at our schedule for the last 10 years, it looks very different this year than it has in the past. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I think the national duels, which are going to take place this weekend, is one of the main reasons for that. It changed some of the options we had for competition, and it moved our tournament to later in November. And being on the road the first 3 weekends was not ideal, but I think it's been good for our guys. Have to go through a little bit of adversity early in the season. We're getting a ton of matches in, so we've got a lot of live reps. We've got a lot of film we can watch and we can break down. And it'll also make it sweeter when we finally get back at home in Varsity Gym. And, I'm excited to wrestle at home here soon.
And just maybe touching on the atmosphere. I know it was all new last year, but hopefully some of the stress of getting that all set up is different this year with a year or two to have that under the belt, to having more cool atmospheres and big crowds there.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the premium seating. It really closes in the competition setting and makes it an even more hostile environment to wrestle us at home. And then you add the video board to it. It just gets a unique atmosphere that's really condensed and very packed into Varsity Gym, and it's a very hostile and rowdy crowd. And, we're looking forward to having that atmosphere and being back at home. I think it's a huge advantage for us, and we try to take advantage of it.